Hi folks, it's Michael Redden again, and I'm going to talk to you today about what kind of goes into a basic estate plan. If you have any questions, leave them as comments or go to reddenlawoffice.com and you can schedule a planning session and we can talk about that or we can plan together. Now, a lot of people really wonder, what's the minimum kind of things that I need in my estate plan? And I want to talk to you today about that and what kind of goes into other things. Everyone needs to have at least that basic estate plan. That's just the estate plan that's going to say, hey, here's where my stuff goes, the stuff that I own, and who's going to make decisions for me if, I get older and I start to get dementia, or maybe if I get into a car accident and I can't make my decisions for me anymore, who's going to make those decisions for me? And in Minnesota, those documents that we really need for while we're alive is our power of attorney. And that's going to handle all of our financial stuff. It's going to say who gets to pay my bills, who gets to collect my Social Security for me, who gets to handle my bank accounts and do all those kinds of things for my finances when I can't do it. So that's kind of what a power of attorney is. But they don't get to make non-financial decisions. If we want someone to be able to make our medical decisions for us, that goes into an advanced healthcare directive. If you read on the internet and things like that, you hear things like healthcare power of attorney, you hear things like living will. In Minnesota, we've just combined both of those into one document called the Advanced Healthcare Directive. And in that document, you're going to give people the authority to make your medical decisions, to decide what happens with your body, to decide if you're going to donate your organs, things like that when something happens. In this document, you get to tell everyone how you feel, what you think about when life's no longer worth living, how you feel about pain. All those kind of things we would typically think about are questions on this document. And you need at least those two to have a basic kind of incapacity plan that's going to be a part of your estate plan. The actual part about what happens when you pass away, there's two kinds of schools of thought to that. There's people who want just the will, and we know that's got to be probated and it has no effect until we pass, things like that. And then there's the living trust, which can do other things. They can control how people spend money, control how people do things with it. It can be in effect while we're alive, and then even when our mind starts to go, it can control, the details of how that money's spent. That power of attorney, they can go spend it any way that they deem fit, so long as it's in our best interest. But if it's in that trust, they still have to follow those trust documents. So that's one of those big things that you guys want to look at is for your basic estate plan, you need at least a will or a living trust. And living trust has lots of documents to go with it, but you need one of those two, and you need a healthcare directive, and you need a power of attorney. That's kind of your baseline. And that's good for a lot of most people, but we're going to add other things too if you have special circumstance. If we need to do some other things for estate taxes, we might have some other trusts. If we've got special needs people, we might have some other trusts. We will take care of those things kind of as add-ons to it. Your business kind of comes with that too because it's got its own documents, whether it's going to be your buy-sell in combination with some other things or not. But your base level estate plan that everyone should start with is a will, a trust, one of those two, and a healthcare directive and a power of attorney. And again, if you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments, or you can contact me at reddenlawoffice.com. If you want to plan with me, just schedule a planning session.